Okay, good morning, Lisa.
Good morning, Chuck. How are you?
Good. It's Wednesday morning at 9:30.
That's very exciting.
It's right. It means, hey, it's Wednesday. It's time for the show.
That's right. That's right. And I am excited because it's a how-to, a Hannah how-to. And the Hannah how-tos are getting more frequent, at least in my own mind, because we've got so many new things to learn. And it's difficult.
Yeah. Well,
And
there's,
it's
uh,
keeping my brain active, right? Like,
yeah,
I don't need to do any brain teasers
yeah,
because
yeah,
I'm learning new things all the time, and
yeah. Well,
that
I got to
helps, right?
start with okay. Regarding the how-to, I got to start by saying, um, learning new things is important, and it's important to
Yes.
keep your skills. Keep your pencil sharp. Keep you're ready to go. But I also believe that at some point you gotta, sometimes it's time to stop learning and just start doing. Okay, like
Yes.
I so I had wavered a little bit if I was gonna go to a conference later this year, and I'm like, but I registered. I'm going. It's not a huge commitment. It's one day. Um, and but because it's a networking event. If that's why I'm going. It's for the networking with all the agents all across my board. And maybe I'll pick up a great thing that I'll learn, but that's that's not why. I'm really right now trying to focus on using and doing the stuff that I've learned, putting it into practice. Because keeping learning, you might feel like, oh my God, I'm so much better than I was last week, and oh my James Clear would be so proud of me. I'm not 1% better. I'm so much better, right? Well, not if you're not doing it. So
Right. Right, there
anyway.
comes a time, like you say, where you've gotta stop learning and start doing, and I think that's what, I like about when you and I talk about the new things that we haven't maybe done yet.
Mhm.
It's because we come up with ways that it can help you. Like, it's cool to have a new gadget. But if you don't use the gadget, I'm thinking of my spiralizer. Remember a few years ago, those were so big. Everybody was spiralizing all their vegetables and salads.
Oh, right.
You had to have a spiralizer. I mean, it
Yeah.
was, mandatory.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
now it's in my basement, and I'm just not using it,
How did you
right?
find the spiralizer? How did you, like, see it to buy it? What was the how
Um,
did you get it? Like,
Both word of mouth, people talking about it,
yeah,
and it was in every store back remember when we used to go to stores and go shopping?
right?
It was in every store, whether it was like, Bed Bath& and Beyond or Macy's had them,
Yeah.
and, supermarkets. You could go every end cap at
Okay.
Tops had a spiralizer at the end. By the checkout, you got a and
Sounds
in the
amazing.
produce
I don't
area.
have a spiralizer.
Oh, well, probably not missing anything.
It's
No,
so
actually, it makes me this time of year I am gonna bring it out again because now I am thinking about it, and I have a recipe for an excellent, apple slaw salad with spiralized apples, and this is, of course,
yeah.
apple season. So,
Alright.
but yeah, so if like, now that I'm thinking about that recipe, I'm like, "Oh, yeah, that was something I really enjoyed, and this really helped with it." And that is something that I should use it for. And, even you were talking about, and I know we're gonna be talking about scheduling appointments and using an
Uh-huh.
online system to schedule appointments. And it's like, at first I was kinda like, do we really need that? Like, how?" But I love, like, if I need to schedule a doctor's appointment, I like to go into the portal when it's convenient for me, send a message, and I can do that, 10 o'clock at night. The doctor's office doesn't have to be open for me to schedule an appointment. Same thing, with other, I needed to get in real estate. I'm helping an agent. We need an estimate for painting because something was called for in an appraisal.
Yep.
Painter that I know has a website. Just put in what's the address, what's your first preferred time, second preferred time, and again, help the agent. We did it after hours, get a message back that, hey, it's scheduled. So
Yeah.
there are great reasons to learn this new thing we're going to talk about today and how it integrates. So again,
Yeah.
it's figuring out what's
Maybe.
the best use for the new thing.
Yeah, and I clearly need it because if I had a real good scheduling system going on, I might have been on time for the Bills party at Frankie Primo's. As it turned out, I arrived, I think, as just about as the first quarter was ending. And so maybe if I had a better scheduling thing, I would not have been a quarter late. And and especially because I was on a crunch because I'm so popular, I had another party to go to after your party. And uh, so that was, shame on me for that. But on the way there, and this is kind of the fun thing to talk about. I was on the way there, and I'm coming in on 290, and 290 West, which is 290 West, not the 290 East that actually goes west, and it's really confusing. But anyway, but I was on my way in, and I knew the game was on, and I thought, I'm like, oh, I should put it on, WGR and listen to the game. And then I said, wait a minute, where am I? I'm in Buffalo, and oh my gosh. So I still have 102.1 as a program station on my thing. I hit it, and it went to the right 102.1, not the other 102.1, which, no offense against Christian music, I think it's fantastic. It's just not the music I want, not the station I want. In my area, 102.1 is a very different station. So I was in Buffalo, and I could listen to CFNY, and I was just like, for 20 minutes, I just had that, that moment where you're like listening to you feel like you're back where you grew up, and the DJs are different, but the voices sound the same. The music was the same. Some of it was newer. Some of it, I just loved it. I was in heaven for about 20 minutes.
Awesome. That was, and that was my favorite station too when I was younger and before streaming. Right now, I can't remember the last time I put the radio on.
No, wait. Okay.
Streaming. But yeah, that was.
Well, because it has it. And then I was really frustrated because on my phone, because I do it through my phone, right, through the Apple CarPlay. And so at the top, I mean, I'm listening to it on the radio, but my phone's showing the station's page, and it's saying, listen live with this Canadian radio player app. And so I went to my app store to try to get the app, and I can't get that app. So if anybody out there knows how to get the app so that I can listen to CFNY 102.1, please comment in the comments. Let me know. I'll send some piece of gratitude. I don't know what I'll send to show my gratitude, but it'll be something. If anybody has that answer to help my life be better. Yeah.
That's what we're all here for, Chuck.
Good. Making my life better. So what has made my life better is the Microsoft bookings. We got the whole, Microsoft platform a little while back. And mostly, primary function is for our Outlook, our Microsoft Outlook, our HANA, email, right? However, there's a whole slew of other Microsoft apps and things to help your productivity, your business, do what you want to do. And I looked at this, so I opened up the little menu. I wonder if I can share my page here. I opened up the little menu, and I kind of call it like the menu burger. Like a lot of times they're three, like the little area up in the corner, the little dots,
Yes.
So I clicked on the little burger, and here's this menu popped up, and I just started looking at all these, and I said, oh, Viva, what's Viva? Oh, that sounds awesome. All right. Clicked on that. I kind of checked out Viva. Here's my calendar. Fantastic. What's bookings? I clicked on bookings, and it brought me to this page. And now I've built out a few bookings. But yeah, I can create specific appointments, and then I can share them with specifically who I want to share them with. So you might notice a couple of these first ones up top here. Sellers. It says everything you want to know to sell your house or something. I forget what. Maybe if I click on it, did it follow? Yeah, that did. Good. So everything you need to know to be prepared to sell your property. Awesome. Right. And buyers getting started. Buyer consultation. Try to keep it easy. Try to keep it simple. Oops. No, that's getting a little ahead of things. Let me go back. And then these are my private appointments, and I can toggle down. I've got 5 private appointments set up, and these are for my office. So, if one of my agents wants to do a 30-minute in-person meeting, they can click on, they could click on this, or I have QR codes around the office where they could scan it to schedule that meeting. So pretty sweet. What do you think, Lisa?
I think it's awesome, right? So when you first,
it's awesome.
I have to tell everybody once in a while, they think I look mad. I'm like, no, this is my thinking face. Like sometimes, with anybody, right? Like for example, some friend of yours might say, "Hey, I just found the best new eye cream and it's got like 8 different ingredients." And you're like, "Oh, I got to think about that. I got to think about the ingredients and I have to let it absorb and literally absorb." But anyway, so I'm letting your this
Well
whole
done.
thing.
Well done with the wordplay there.
Thank you. This like I needed a minute to let this soak in to say, okay, like how is this going to be most effective? And I can totally see this, Chuck, when you said about scheduling appointments with agents. I love that, right? And I love that you've got one. Do you want to meet with me in person, over Zoom, like or Google Meet, right? Not everybody has, FaceTime, what have you. So but then I thought, well, how would an agent use this? And I think an ideal use for this coming up at the end of this month, I have about 5 or 6 agents in this office that are doing 2 different downsizing seminars. Great
Yeah.
prepackaged presentation downsizing seminar. And we have a handout that goes with it. Well, I could easily see someone saying, "Hey, sign up for a follow-up appointment. You came to the seminar, you heard a bunch in our presentation, and now you probably need a one-on-one session. Scan a QR code to register for an upcoming seminar." Or they can use it in their marketing to say, "Hey, if you missed our downsizing seminar, sign up for a one-on-one appointment."
Right.
I could also see it, we've got, people are so used to QR codes, right? I could see an agent having a an open to close QR code, sign into the open house, right? And then on
Yes.
their flyer that they're going to give to the people who come through, they might have a QR code that says, "For a private showing, scan here, request a private showing on the property," right? Like, and then I love how if the QR code stays the same, the back end scheduling changes, right? Like, so if
Yeah.
appointments fill up, the same QR code is just gonna take you to where you can pick one, correct? It's
I'm
not a
confused.
QR code per time spot.
No. Oh yeah. No. No. It's a scheduler. So
Right.
let me go back. I'll bring this back on the stage, and if I'll click on one of these appointments. Let's say a 30-minute in person meeting. So if you look, uh, oh wait, no, this is the back end of it. This is how you do all your settings.
Okay. But I
So
see where you've got different days
yeah,
available, not available.
right. Yeah, nobody could book one of these with me on a Sunday. It won't be an option. I want to get to the I want to share it. Let's see. I think if I click share, there we go. If I click the link here, it's copied. I'll do a new tab. I'll go to it, and this will show you what the appointment page would look like. So let me share a new tab here. Remove. Oh, let's see. I'm almost there. You guys are the best. Oops, is that the right one? Womp womp, not the right one. All right, we're almost there. Settings, present, share screen, book your appointment with Chuck. I think bookings, book your appointment with Chuck.
Although if you kept the QR code up on there, we could all just do it. Unless you're watching on your phone, then that makes it more
Oh,
complicated.
oh, you're right. Yeah, I guess you could. So here's the screen that they're going to see when they click the
Ah,
QR code, and you see
yep,
like the days that are circled are the days when an appointment is possible, and then over
yep.
here is the different time slots on that day that you could start your appointment, and you just select
Love it.
whenever you want to do it. So I have
Love
had
it.
a couple agents who have booked, like our kind of our year-end annual business planning meeting. Next week, an agent's booked with me a 30-minute, kind of training. Let's talk
Right.
about our CRM and things like that. So, um, having this resource, I think, around the office or agents to be able to, whenever they want to click on that, to schedule that with you. Now I just got to remind them, hey, it's easy to schedule with me. Just look around the office and find the right find the right little code. Um,
Right.
so because that's what I want. I want to have more appointments. That's
Well, and what I
with
love
them.
about it, Chuck, is I think I'm better at explaining a tool if I use it myself, right? Like I'm
Absolutely
better at
right.
saying this is
Yeah.
how you would use it in an open house situation, and I know it because I use it, with my business, managing an office.
Yeah.
So I think that's huge, and how you can block off
Mhm.
times. Again, that tool, and again, you might have someone who says, "Oh, I don't want a client. I don't want to use a QR code. Can I just call you?" Of course you can. I'll book your appointment,
Of
right?
course.
Like
Right.
you'll just do it
Yep.
that way.
No, and so you got to put the office, you want to put the office app on your phone, and then, so that you have the office platform on your digital device, because that's how you're probably, if somebody wants to book with you directly, that's probably how you're going to do it.
Yes.
And that'll put the calendar, the office calendar, sync it up with your calendars, so that you're making sure when you book that appointment, you book it through the Microsoft Office calendar and not accidentally with your Google Calendar or your national holidays calendar, whatever. We got a whole bunch of calendars. Um, and yeah, and otherwise, there's potential that you really got to use one calendar, because
Yeah.
if you're using multiple, you might get double booked. But I really like what you said about the open house, and I know, Kathy Bianchi said she teaches when she trains for open house. She says, as much as, I mean, the goal of the open house is to sell the property. That's the number one goal of every open house, to sell the property. The second goal, I think, of the open house is to get an appointment with a buyer for future business, and ask every buyer, have you seen a purchase and sale contract yet? Do you know what it looks like? Has anyone explained to you the different contingencies? Hey, I've got some time set aside tonight at 4 o'clock, every Tuesday at 5, whatever it is. Would you like that appointment? And somebody might, and sometimes, what they say, I would like that appointment. Thank you for offering. And say, here you go. Just scan here and register for the appointment. Some people are
Yes.
going to really like that they're proactive. You're getting them active in their search and taking steps. They're at your open house. Now they're signing up for appointments. Next, at that appointment, they're probably going to be signing an EBA with you. Now they're signing contracts. It feels like real business, right?
Right, right.
You're
And
just
you're
taking,
leading them down
right.
that path, right.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And I think, it's you said at the beginning too, like getting all of your calendars to integrate, getting them all working at once and together is so important, because you want to be able to find, hey, I don't want to be late for this. I don't want to miss that. I want to leave enough time, right? Like, each agent, maybe that first buyer consultation is going to be fast.
That's
Maybe
another
it's
that's
more in
another
depth.
really great feature. I'm really glad you said that, because I didn't think to mention it specifically, but that's another really great feature within bookings, is you can build buffer time on your appointments. So, and it's up to
Yes.
you if you want to build the buffer time or not. You can, it's really customizable however you want to customize it. Um, there's no right or wrong answer in how you set it up.
Yeah.
But it's there. Everybody has access to it. I think we can use it.
Yeah.
Who's
I
calling
think
me? Don't they know it's 9:30 on Wednesday morning?
one of the things I love about all these tools is like the Outlook, the Microsoft, you can use it on anything, right? So I can open up the Office on my iPhone, on my Android tablet, on my MacBook, on my
Hmm.
Office PC. I mean, it doesn't matter if I'm going back and forth between systems. I also personally love, because at home I have a Mac laptop, and so doesn't include Word or Excel, it's their own versions, but through my Hannah Office, I have access to those tools, and I didn't have to buy them separately. I didn't have to buy, or
Right.
like, kind of spoof a Microsoft screen on my Mac. So, really great for people using different forms of technology.
Get more appointments. I tell everybody, I go, we don't sell the house over the phone. We don't do the point of it all is just to get appointments. Whoever gets the most appointments is going to win the game.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, and again, going back to your open house example, sometimes the next appointment is back at the same house, right? Like,
right.
maybe it's like, "Hey, do you wanna come back tonight when there's not 5 or 6 other sets of people milling around?
Hmm.
When you can get undivided attention? Do you need to bring another, decision maker back with you?" Because many times someone does walk in and says, "Oh my gosh, I love this house more than I thought I would. I wanna buy it." But sometimes they look at it twice.
Right. Maybe they've connected with someone else, but just, connected with them through whatever portal it is, and it's over the phone, and they're at this open house, but they haven't had an in-person meeting with them yet.
Yeah.
but they've connected, but they haven't had that in person, and now, and you're there and they say, you seem all right. Right. A lot of this goes on intuition. A lot of it goes on
Mhm.
rapport. And so then maybe they've already connected with somebody else, but they don't have a contract with them. And
Yeah.
they really like the way you did this or the way you did that. I had a come list me call a few weeks back because somebody really liked the way I did something, and they called and
Yeah.
said, "Yep, come list my house." I said,
And
"Okay."
that's for our, Hannah realtors out there watching, as many people are there to look at the house and potential buy the house, keep in mind there are people there who are interviewing for a listing agent, and they're going
Right.
to see, how did you hold the open house? How did you market it? How are you greeting people? And they're going to say, I want you representing my property.
When
So,
yeah, when I it 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 it, it I'm somewhat shocked. I feel like when I get to, sometimes I go to open houses. I mean, you got your way of doing it. I think you should have a way to write down the information if you have a total absolute breakdown in
oh
technology.
yeah,
Like, you need
definitely.
a backup system,
Yes.
but the
Yes.
backup system should be tucked away in the drawer over here. Like,
Yes.
it shouldn't be an active option in how you're doing things that day, right? It's literally like, it's like the candles that stay in the garage and you haven't lit them for, they're brand new candles. They're going to last for 10 hours in case the power goes out and you need to see something. And not only is the power out and your phone's dead, you don't have a solar, like, we don't have any backup system. That's what your pen and your clipboard and is for getting people's information. And I feel like, if, when you do it this way, um, sadly, I feel like you might really stand out. Like, that's kind of sad, but you might stand out, and people will remember that,
Yeah.
and generally the people that me personally I'm best working with, like, are people that would be comfortable with doing it this way. Like,
Yeah.
that's my connection. Um,
Right.
if
Right, and again,
right,
it's all in
so
how you do it, right? Like, I can remember helping an agent with an open house, and it was during the, coming out of the pandemic when we're starting to do open houses again, but it was like, remember the one person in the house at a time? And
uh-huh.
so I was on the front porch helping people sign in, and the
Hmm.
agent was inside, and it's like they went in the front door, they went through the house, they came out through the garage. So when someone came out, I could send one in, and we had the QR code there. And I remember this group of people came up, and the two who appeared like the parents of the group were like, "Oh, I don't know what to do about this." And I remember, it happened to be a girl. She looked like she's about 15. She's like, I mean, the eye roll, and she's like, "Just hand it to me." And she whips out her phone. She signs them all in. She's like, "There you go." And they
uh
went through the house. And then another time I was with an agent, and the person, they get to the QR code and they're just like, all right, I didn't bring my reading glasses. I don't do that. It was just like, you could tell they were just like, I don't want to go to my car to get my glasses. I said, hey, no problem. Do you want me to sign you in for you? And she's like, oh, yeah. So I just
yeah,
grabbed my phone. I scanned it. I'm like, okay, what's your name? And she told me.
yeah,
And then I said,
exactly. It's
would
simple
you like to
questions,
give
simple
your,
answers.
yeah, would you like to give me your email address or your telephone number? She's like, oh, that phone
Sure.
number's okay, put it
There you
in. I
go.
said, hey, how'd you hear about the house? I checked the box, and she went on her way, and she's like, hey, thanks so much. It was super easy.
You
I
know
asked
what?
her
This is
questions
what
she knew the answers to.
this blows my mind. Right. I know, simple questions, simple answers. You can't get these wrong. What
She
is
knew
it
them.
like? What's your favorite color? Blue. No, green. Ah, like, sorry.
Yeah,
Um,
it was super easy, and that
so
again, that's another benefit of there's, doing open houses
right.
together for safety, for keeping an eye on things, and just for situations like that. Like, hey, that other person is there to, just help out. Hey, no
Yeah.
big deal. I'll
I
help you.
I what I mean, what's the way, like, you've got the clipboard. I was at an open house, and another a hand agent he was from another office. Man, this guy, his sign in was smooth. This guy, he had a clipboard, and he had that, as Chris Voss says, that late night DJ voice. Hey, what's your name? And Hey, can I put your email on this list? And they're like, okay. And and that was great. He had the clipboard, the pen, and oh my God, you were just, yeah, right on. Oh my God, that's gonna be great. Or, but what if you just handed them the clipboard and the pen and said, here, can you sign in? Can you fill this out? Not like, no, you're not interacting, you're not creating a
Yeah,
relationship, it's a barrier between the two of you. The more questions you ask them, and they have to answer, and the simple, easy ones, and it just starts that relationship, And so whether it's a clipboard and the pen,
totally.
which I'm clearly not a fan of, for but as a backup system, I think it's amazing. But like you just said, somebody comes in, they're like, "Oh, I can't do it," and you go, "That's fine. Don't worry. I got you. Listen, it's gonna
Yeah,
be fine. Listen, I'll just sign you right in. How about I do it for you? What's your name?" Right?
yeah.
And that's as best as I can do. My radio, I have a terrible voice for radio, um, and but that's it. Ask the questions, and you just take care of it for them, and yet you're setting up the process that you know what you're going to take care of a lot of things for them, and
Right.
this is just the
Right.
first.
I'm here for you.
I'm here for you. Right.
Yeah.
Okay, you're in. I got you in. Now go.
Yes.
Come see me
Yeah.
when you're done. I got more
Yes.
questions.
What
Um,
do they say? Greet and release.
catch
You
it.
know?
Yeah, yeah. Catch and release.
Yep.
Matt Elzer, catch and release. Dan
Yes.
Elzer, not Matt
Yeah.
Elzer. Dan Elzer.
Yeah.
Dan Elzer. Yeah, yeah. I got my SWAT certificate. Um,
Hey, all right. Well, listen, I think we
bookings.
had some great
Microsoft
information
bookings.
here. Bookings. We'll
Check it
share our
out.
QR code. People can book appointments with us. How about that?
Right on. That's all with us. What do you mean? I'm confused
Yeah.
now.
Yeah, with us.
Okay.
Hey, I got to practice, Chuck. So I'm going to put something out there. If you want 15 minutes to ask me a question,
All right,
I'm going to see if it works.
You create a booking, then share it to me, and then I'll get the email. Oh, the other thing you can do too is when you're creating these, you'll see a thing where you can add it to your email signature in easy peasy. So you'll notice if you get an email from me at the bottom, it'll say click here for my bookings page.
Oh, I love it.
So yeah, of course, right? You can add it,
Yes.
and I noticed that only the public, type of meetings that are open to the public, that are public, so not my agent ones. I haven't figured out how to do the private meetings as
Okay.
part of
Right,
that.
right.
So that's
I
I
can
guess.
use it for my career in real estate times. Like I have a set time every Tuesday at 11 if you want to talk about a career in real estate. So I
Yes,
could certainly put that in my email signature. That would be a public appointment.
absolutely. Yes, it would. Okay.
All right.
Well, that's
I like it.
exciting. Microsoft, can't wait. We're gonna book more appointments. We're gonna win the game.
All right.
All right. Final thought. All right. Cheers, everybody.